No, this one's back. It's 6:30. We call the meeting to order. We have a quorum with Dr. Hell being absent, but he's supposed to be here momentarily. He's on his way. At this time, we'll discuss the April 18th regular board meeting agenda items. Dr. Randall.
Mr. President, the first agenda item is that we ask the Board of Trustees to approve the memorandum of understanding with the Texas Health and Human Services Commission for the foster grandparent program with Lamar Consolidated ISD.
One question I had, who draws the short straw to manage this program off your staff?
That Dr. he's already holding his hand up, and there he is. So.
Okay.
Is this a new program? Okay.
Give us a little description.
So in the past, this had occurred at Pink Elementary with a kind of a pilot type activity with Pink and matching older folks from the community with younger students in need for mentoring and those types of activities. And so it was very successful, and we're trying to have it for every possible campus with LCISD.
All right.
Just in reading some of this, it says that the foster grandparents, while they are performing as volunteers, will not be left alone with the children.
So they go through a training program. Health and Human Services offers a training program for all of our volunteers, and so they go into wide open areas. Usually they meet in a library, so the librarian is there, and so they have other adults in the general area where the foster grandparents meets with the student. It would never be in a closed one-on-one space. It would always be open and with another campus official in the area.
And they receive instructions to avoid those kind of situations.
Yes, sir.
Just for any potential issues.
Yes, sir. There's a long training process they go through.
Yeah.
And what about the, it was on 23, for in-home assignments?
That won't happen. It
that will
wouldn't
not happen?
I've already been in contact with Health and Human Resources, and we've gone through all of these possibilities, and we communicated there would not be at home.
Okay.
I think
And this
that's
is
a
the
great
first year.
program for us
For
older
the district.
people.
I'm not commenting on that.
You better be
Wise
careful.
man.
They're going to be signing you out. You can only think you're leaving.
All right,
The
thank you.
next item is that we ask the Board of Trustees to approve out-of-state travel for the district math finalists to the National Math Competition at the University of Illinois in Chicago. The next item, we ask the board to approve travel for George Ranch High School school speech and debate team to travel to Nebraska for a national individual events tournament. The next item, we ask the Board of Trustees to approve out-of-state travel for Foster, Fulshire, George Ranch, Lamar Consolidated, and Terry High School's culinary arts students to attend the International Culinary Competition Day in Orlando, Florida. The next item, we ask that the Board of Trustees approve a memorandum of understanding with Texas State Technical College for dual credit with Lamar CISD. The next item is ratification of quarterly investment reports. The next item, we ask the Board of Trustees to consider approval of budget amendment request. The next item, we ask the board to ratify the financial and investment reports. The next item, we ask that the board consider approval of engagement of the certified public accounting firm of Whitney Penn as the district independent auditor for 18-19 school year. The next item, we ask the board to consider approval of the instructional materials allotment and TEACS certification for the 19-20 school year. Next item, we ask the board to consider a request for historic exemption for the Simonton School.
I assume
Same
this is
one
the
we
same,
get?
same request
Same
for
one we
past
get?
two.
And-
Yes.
And is there anything changed since last year? That's my main question.
Okay, so I guess the short answer is no. They still have their properties split between residential and commercial, 80% residential, 20% commercial. The residential portion does have additional exemptions by the city of Simonton and Portman County. Our exemption is just a standard homestead exemption. They do still conduct tours and community events and things in that portion. In the 20% commercial, they have told me they do very little business there, even though the signage is still out front of the building. And there are no additional exemptions given by any entities on the commercial side. So that would be all the additional information I would have.
Did they have to say how many tours they have?
No.
Okay.
Caucasian.
All right, thank you.
I have one question actually, Ms. Ludwig. A couple of times we've gotten a couple of the requests all in one. Do they just come in at different times, or is there a
Yes.
specific time of the year that they have to apply for this?
I believe their deadline date is April 30th, that they have to have it into the CAD.
Okay, so perhaps there will be an additional for other properties in the count or an LCIC?
I'm not,
Is that a
I'm
possibility?
not anticipating any more for the 19 tax year.
We had the one for last month, remember?
Oh,
We had George
got
Ranch,
it.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you did.
I missed it.
The next item, we ask the board to approve the resolution proclaiming May 8th as Public School Paraprofessional Day, and a resolution proclaiming May 6th through 12th as School Nurses Week in Lamar CISD. The next item, we ask the board to approve the resolution proclaiming May 6th through 10 as Teacher Appreciation Week.
They need more than a week, Dr. Allen.
Yes, sir. I would agree with that.
All year long.
The next item is the board's naming of schools. The next item, we ask the board to approve the 2018-19 Strategic Planning Committee's recommendation.
I'll just comment, once I read through that, those, on first glance, those statements under each one of those major areas look fairly simple, but then you start thinking about what goes behind that and the number of activities that occur under those simple statements. This is quite a piece of work. Really well done.
Well, we have
Oh,
a,
we have a presentation.
that's,
Yes, we'll have a presentation.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. The next item, we ask the board to waive the facility usage fee for PowerPoint Elementary. This is the same program that was implemented last summer.
So we've already had this,
Yes, this is the one we did last year.
this isn't the one that fell through,
No,
no.
No,
and it was only for the summer months?
yes.
that's correct.
This one approved, and apparently, from what I hear, is a very successful program. No issues.
The next item, we ask the board to approve amendment to the contract with Ramala to establish the guaranteed maximum price for the construction of high school number 6 and junior high school number 6 in the amount of $717,956.
Hard to say it, isn't it?
Those numbers are just so big.
And 27 cents.
That's right.
And what was the,
Struggled through that.
I know.
You getting ready to ask what the budget?
yeah, what was the difference? Did we,
Well, our total budget for that project is $188 million.
180, yeah.
okay. So we're still, okay, okay.
188.5.
All right. That's what I didn't know when I was reading it, because it made it seem like we were going over budget, but what we're doing is adding to the budget that we originally. Okay. Thank you.
The next item, we ask the Board of Trustees, and you have a correction that's at your table for this particular agenda item, and the correction is in the recommendation, and we ask that the Board of Trustees approve Bass Construction for the construction of multi-campus renovations at Campbell, Navarro, Wessendorf, and Williams in the amount of $2,273,000 plus alternate number 3 in the amount of $114,000 funded with available funds for a total of $2.3 million, and authorize the board president to execute the agreement. So the first number there is the actual budget that was allocated, but if you remember when they came back with the renderings, they had an area that they wanted to upgrade. In order to do that, that was done as an alternate. In order to do that, we would have to, the board would approve that for those funds coming out of excess funds. I think the next one is that the Board of Trustees approve Roadrunner Moving for providing moving services for the multi-campus renovations at Williams, Campbell, Navarro, and Wessendorf in the amount of $78,280.
Everything else.
The next item, we ask that the Board of Trustees approve ISI, commercial refrigeration, for the construction of the new serving line at Terry High School in the amount of $379,492.72. The next item, we ask that the Board of Trustees approve ISI, commercial refrigeration, for the construction of the new serving lines at George Junior High in the amount of $253,825.48. The next item, we ask the board to approve Bass Construction for the construction of the cooler freezer replacement at 8 elementary schools in the amount of $1,077,000. The next item, we ask the board to approve the deductive change order number 1 in the amount of $12,790.27 and final payment of $20,940.49 to Johnson Controls for the construction of the HVAC web-based controls, and authorize the board president to sign the change order. The next item, we ask that the Board of Trustees approve the additional annexation fees to Fort Bend County Municipal Utility District Number 162 for a 130-acre tract for an additional deposit of $40,000 for the annexation and inspection cost. The next item, we ask the board to approve the purchase of Stobel, I guess, a heavy wash system from Washing Equipment of Texas in the amount of $208,020.40. This is for our transportation, our buses to be washed. The next item, we ask the Board of Trustees to approve Republic Service, Inc. for trash services outside city limits at an annual service cost of $138,319.50. The next item, we ask the board to approve Bridgegate Fire Solutions for the inspection and service of the district's sandpipe, fire sprinklers, and backflow systems in the amount of $265,500. The next item, we ask the board to delegate final authority to the superintendent to employ contractual employees for the 1920 school year during the months of May, June, July, and August.
We've done this for the past couple of years to accommodate hiring people so we don't lose folks because of delay getting to the board.
The next item, we ask the Board of Trustees to approve the purchase of network security appliances, licenses, components, and installation services from Layer 3 Communications in the amount of $205,700 with 2 additional years of licenses at $99,200 annually. The next item, we ask the board to approve the purchase of, what is that? Bitfinders, Gravity Zone Business Security Antivirus for protection software and professional services from CDWG in the amount of $261,558.30.
What a name.
Yeah, I'm sure Mr. Jacobson threw that in for my benefit. So. The next item, we ask that the Board of Trustees approve the purchase of network switches and installation and configuration services in the amount of $119,103.74 from Micro Integration. The next item, we ask that the board approve the purchase of interactive flat panels, televisions, and installation hardware and services from Perennial Consulting, not to exceed $1,362,852.06, plus a 10% contingency of $136,285.21, for a total of $1,499,137.27, and electrical work from Irvish Electrical not to exceed $30,000. The next item, we ask the Board of Trustees to approve the 3-year purchase of Lightspan Relay and Lightspeed Classrooms from CDWG in the amount of $107,500 in the first year. And Mr. President, those are the action items.
Do we have any audience patrons on the action items?
There it is, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Corinne, we'll go to the information items, please.
The first information item is just a report of board training that is required annually at this time. You will get you have a presentation at your desk for the campus counselor role and responsibility, and that update will come on Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Tax collection report. Payments for construction projects. You have your bond updates, 2014 and 2017, on 169 and 175. And your projects that have been funded by the 2011 available funds. And student governance was a request that it be on this agenda as an information item. And maybe one. Basically, the information that we were shared is in your board book, where we've looked at a number of different areas, as well as shared some of the things that we are currently doing in Lamar CISD, and we are still continuing to research what other districts are doing that involve students and governance.
At one point, didn't you, Dr. Randall, have like a student advisory council that you met with maybe every 3 months or something?
We actually had our summit yesterday.
Oh, okay, so you
and
still have that program?
Yes, we do. And we start at 5th grade, and then we have 6th graders, and every school is represented, 6th graders. We have students from junior high represented, and each one of the high schools. And it is just amazing how those kids, they just blow you away with how knowledgeable they are about what's going on in school. As well as we had 5 students that served on the strategic planning committee, and those individuals that served on that committee with those high school students, they could not believe how knowledgeable they were of what was going on in school, and their willingness to take and share their viewpoints with the adults that were in the room. They really did a great job. You would have been just proud of them.
And we've had students on the Citizens Bond Committee as well.
That's correct.
So technically, some of what I think was asked for, we're already doing, but perhaps we're just not. I guess my concern is that when you're talking about student governance and we're dealing with a $400+ million budget, I would rather keep them off of board agenda items and keep them in more roles like what you're talking about that we already have in our district. That's my opinion.
I think at the conference that I'd gone to, it was more of like Dr. Randall, and they can hear them, they hear the students, but we as a board do not. We don't receive any of the input from those meetings. The communication isn't there.
So perhaps it's not really student governance, perhaps it's more along the lines of maybe just getting some updates or some reports from Dr. Randall on the programs that already do exist.
It's just to give an idea to the students that we as a board, we're very willing to hear them, and we're open to their ideas, but I don't ever hear them. So it's a matter of how do we do that?
Maybe it's one or two of us get invited to some of his meetings where we can listen to those students. Well, and I know a number of us sat in on the Citizens Bond Committee, and we attended a lot of the strategic planning. So we're hearing from them in some instances, but maybe there's more where we have some opportunities. Something we can think about.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Randall.
And the next item is the School Resource Division update. You have that information in your board packet. And if you have any additional questions, of course, Lieutenant Segura is here to answer them if you have them.
I had one question. Is this a total for all the campuses, I'm assuming? Is this color coded for any specific campus or
No.
school or anything?
No, it's all campuses.
It's all of them,
campuses.
all of them.
Thank
yeah.
you.
We
I
answered.
think we answered it.
Wait, don't go away yet. Any more questions before those Lieutenant Segura? I just got a quick observation. Less people think this is all you do, all your officers do all month, and they have this number of incidents. How many student interactions would you guess you have in a month?
Oh my God, it's amazing. The guys that I have create relationships with the students, their mentors. Officer Price from Lamar Junior High actually goes to Meyer and Bowie Elementary and meets with kids weekly, just as a mentor. We get called frequently just to go talk to kids, discuss different situations, classroom stuff. We have Officer Weisheimer and Liao from Lamar High School and Foster High School who do the Skills USA with students who are interested in law enforcement. This past weekend they went to Corpus and competed on building searches and felony traffic stops and took first place in building searches. So they do really well, and this is all in their time. They go do it, and really good relationships. But the number of calls that we get a day the number of calls we get in this district is minute compared to other districts with 34,000 students, and you get 50 calls for service. It's very minute. Most of our calls are just going for advice or help.
Yeah, most things you do are non-reportable incidents.
Exactly.
But
That's something that we changed on there.
But there are a lot of them.
Yes, yes.
All right, any other questions?
Thank you, Mel. Thank you for what y'all do. You make us look good.
All right, that takes care of the action item, the information item. At this point, we're going to go into closed session. Adjournment to closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.082 of the Open Meetings Act. Okay, we'll reconvene in open session at 7:20. There are no actionable items from the closed session. Any other issues to bring before the board? If not, the meeting also stands adjourned at 7:20. Thank you.
Yay!